I've heard that life is what you make it. I say make room to grow. I'm your host, LaWanda Dockery, and this is the Make Room to Grow podcast. It all started with a dream about growing food, and who would ever imagine that growing food would lead to me learning about personal growth and development? Well, it did, and I want to bring you along for this beautiful ride. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Grow Nation. How are you guys? How have you been? It's been way too long. I am back. We are on the cusp of a new gardening season, so we're going to get y'all ready. We're going to get you prepared. I give God all the glory when I say there have been 72 previous episodes chock full of different material. It'll get you started, get you introduced to the subject of gardening if you're new to it. So don't ever hesitate to go back and go through some of those old episodes. However, again, I give God all the glory when I say that this will be my 4th gardening season. All due to Him. He's the one who gave me the dream to get started in the first place. So guys, I did a new thing this year. A couple of weeks ago, actually on the 11th of February, I held a test online class via Zoom. And it was a bunch of new gardeners. We're all getting started. I still consider myself a newbie. And we wanted to just trade information and learn from one another, get together and just really get planning for our gardening year. And it went really well. I'll be sharing episodes based on some of the feedback. We talked about how do you grow in a yard that doesn't get much sunlight? We also talked about how do you protect against pest pressure? When I tell you it was so good, I had my uncle on and he grows in buckets. He gave insight as to what he uses for fertilizer. So he was like an OG on the line. It was so good, guys. I want to know, would you like to be involved with one of these online classes? What would you like to see covered? What also do you want to see episodes about in the future? I really want to hear from you. You can email me at info@makeroomtogrow.com, info@makeroomtogrow.com. Now, we need to get ready for this season that is upon us. So a couple of the things that we went over in the class, we rehearsed. What is your grow zone? Remember, that's the area that you're growing in. That's your climate. It'll dictate what your gardening season looks like. We assess that here in Zone 7A, we have about 205 days for our gardening season. What do you want to grow? Do you want to grow from seed? Do you want to grow from plant start? You have to make that decision. Okay, do you want to grow in containers? Do you want to grow in raised beds? What type of soil mix do you want? Are you going to go all organic? You want to start growing your seeds. If you're growing from actual seeds, start doing that now. I did for the class, I grew a couple of string bean seedlings and I also have some microgreens. I have that in a south-facing window. I have it on one of the window ledges. I have one of those shelving, the acrylic shelving that adheres to the window. And so it's able to grow slowly but steadily in the window. Some people want a grow light setup. I've not delved into that because I tend to use natural sunlight. I tend to partially grow indoors and partially start some seeds once the weather breaks a little and the ceilings can take a little bit of cool, but it's just turning over into spring. So you can do this any number of ways you want. Again, email me at info@makeroomtogrow.com if you want to connect to our group because we'll be growing together this year. I just wanted to say hello to you guys. I wanted to share what we're up to. I wanted to encourage you that if you have not started, this is a time where you want to get some skin in the game. You can do this. It does not take much. It doesn't take much money. I literally grew those seedlings for the class. I grew them in a pound cake loaf pan. So you don't need anything special. You can just get some soil, the seeds, a pan, poke some holes, and that's it. It does not take $1 million to grow your own food. I need you to lock in with me. I need you to Get on board with this Make Room to Grow train. And guys, until next time, I want you to be intentional about those areas in your life where you are going to make room to grow.